adoption lawyer tried to purchase inmates' children to traffic. Put it up full mass. This is insane. Per an arrest affidavit obtained by KXAS in Dallas, after getting banned from brokering international adoptions, 68-year-old accused scammer Jody Hall turned to a surprising target. The pregnant incarcerated, okay? The Texas adoption attorney allegedly made brazen attempts to buy 2 babies from incarcerated women by depositing money into their jail accounts to pay for commissary items and entertainment. Hall was charged with the sale or purchase of a child, an unethical adoption practices. The 3rd-degree felony carries a maximum of 10 years in prison. That's in Texas. Hall was arrested on July 23rd, but released on a $50,000 bond from the Hayes County Jail the same day. Atlanta Black Star notes this is not Hall's first brush with notoriety. She was the subject of an investigation. This was an investigative series by Honolulu Civil Beat into an adoption pipeline from the Marshall Islands to Honolulu in violation of international law. It's unclear if Texas police will examine those actions in connection with the most recent investigation. The latest adoption scheme was exposed after detectives from the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office discovered messages on electronic jail tablets allegedly from Hall to at least 2 inmates, both in their 20s. The messages to one started on March 13th, with Hall initially taking a cordial tone, but that quickly escalated into name calling and threats as the mother-to-be changed her mind and decided to keep the baby. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. In her first message, Hall identified herself as the, quote, director of the adoption agency that you have signed with, and stated that the deposited $20 on the inmate's tablet so they could discuss an adoption plan. She offered to send photos of the would-be adoptive parents and in one email, inquired about the mother's health and asked if she was getting enough food in jail. Over the next 2 months, the messages had an urgent undercurrent as Hall pressured the individual to convince her boyfriend to sign away his rights to his unborn child. Quote, have you heard from your boyfriend? Question mark. I need to get him to sign a document stating that he may or may not be the father, but if he is relinquishing his rights and does not want to have to go to court. Please let me know how to get in touch with him now. He can sign this document before the baby is born, Hall allegedly wrote, according to the local outlet. When things weren't going as planned, the messages became increasingly aggressive. Quote, I don't need birth moms that lie to me just to get financial support. And I can't give you any more if he's not willing to sign the paperwork. That means he wants the baby if he is the father. By May, it seemed clear from the messages that the deal was falling apart, and so was Hall. She blasted the individual, calling her a scammer and threatening to smear her character to the prosecutor in the case. Quote, Amber, you're in jail and a drug addict. You did not keep him. You are a scammer, and I will be telling the prosecutor, in your case, all about how this family supported you since November, and you scammed them with the help of your boyfriend, she allegedly screamed in all caps, adding, he's got pictures all over Facebook of him holding the baby. You're such a liar. According to the police, Hall put $846 on at least one individual's commissary account. Under normal circumstances, it's a common practice for prospective adoptive parents to fund medical and housing expenses for a mother-to-be. However, because the mother was incarcerated, those expenses were already incurred by the county, making the funding illegal under current Texas law. In 2019, Hall was investigated while brokering multiple adoptions, another population in Marshall, vulnerable to exploitation. Honolulu Civil Beat reported how mothers in the Marshall Islands were easily duped. And it's common for children to live in another household, and many were unaware of the true implications of adoption. In one text, Hall told a client that, quote, it's easier to control the birth mothers flown from the Marshall Islands compared to Marshallese women already in Arkansas. But we buy the tickets. That way, they can't change the tickets. We placed 3 in the past 3 weeks, reported the Honolulu Civil Beat. Days after the story broke, an accreditation agency suspended Hall from doing international adoptions. And shortly after, the Intercountry Adoption Accrediting and Maintenance Entity outright canceled her accreditation for failing to comply with standards. This is some evil, evil, evil stuff being done. And obviously, this is a money-making dynamic for this woman. Makes my blood boil. Yasmin, thoughts?
Yeah, so this happened in Texas, and here in Texas, we have very restrictive abortion laws because our entire state government is run by Republicans. Republicans want to ban abortions across the country, so they want to force women to have babies they don't want or can't have, can't afford, whatever. But they never give any solutions as to what happens once these babies are born. They don't offer any kind of special programs or social programs, I should say, to deal with these babies because social programs are socialism and that's bad. The existing system that we have in place to deal with children without parents is not secure. It's full of horror stories, and this is just one of them. This is insane. If Republicans cared about children and babies, then they would go after people like this because it is unbelievable.
That's right. They're creating a lot of opportunity for exploitation by not doing so.